Take a look at what's going on. This is what I'm expecting. Now, rain dissipated just north of the area, and it was just as expected. You know, yesterday I was talking about how storms would develop in the panhandle, move to the south and east, and dissipate just before they reached us, and went just according to plan. That's exactly what happened. Upper level ridge of high pressure is going to keep those temperatures above average for the foreseeable future, for at least the next 7 days. And I think we're going to be mainly rain-free for the next 7 days. Look at the high yesterday. We hit 100 degrees, but the big story was the big heat out west. Del Rio 107, Carrizo Springs 106, Crystal City about 106, Eagle Pass, I'm sure you were very close to that. Catula at 106. Take your pick. It was hot out there yesterday. All right, so thunderstorms, a lot of lightning and thunder just east of San Angelo. This is Brady, San Saba, Menard, just falling apart though before reaching the viewing area. Might have had a few showers around Enchanted Rock and around Fredericksburg, but definitely falling apart now. There's nothing left, and that's as expected. All right, we had the stationary frontal boundary to the north. There's been a lot of big thunderstorms up in North Texas, East Texas, and even over into Louisiana, and some of those thunderstorms produced some big hail. Let's take a look at a picture. This is out of, I believe this is Coppell. This is a baseball, of course. Look at that. That's full baseball size hail there in Coppell. They had golf ball size hail around Carrollton. So a lot of severe weather there in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's some big hail. That'll do some damage. There's a lot of damage up there in the Coppell area. If you're wondering where is Coppell, Coppell is right just north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, airport, just north of DFW Airport. Carrollton, of course, is over just north of Dallas. So big hail there. All right, this is what I'm expecting. More thunderstorms will develop along the dry line like they did last night. I think that's going to happen again tonight. But the trajectory is such that I doubt any of that activity will reach us here in south central Texas. So here's what I'm expecting. Clouds this morning, sunshine this afternoon. Highs will be in the upper 90s, 99, definitely well above 100 out to the south and west. Heat index values will be anywhere from 105 to 110 out west. Mold is moderate, pigweed is light, grass is light, and the aquifer is on a free fall. I need to get that Tom Petty song, Free Falling, or isn't that thing Free Falling? Anyway, I need to get that playing because this is just continuing to fall off. Matter of fact, I think stage 2 restrictions may be just right around the corner. This evening, mostly clear. Temperatures will be very warm, 88 degrees at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow, 98. And I think the upper level ridge of high pressure is going to be strong enough that high temperatures will just stay in the mid to upper 90s really through the weekend, right into the early part of next week. Just staying hot.